Hi, my name is Tanya Keto. I was diagnosed in 2014 at the age of 38 with ADHD.
The more I learned, the more I started going down those other avenues of ADHD in adults. And ADHD, the common experience in girls with ADHD, right? Tanya would do better if she didn't socialize with her friends so much. Tanya would do better if she remembered to hand in her homework. Tanya would do better if she didn't lose her textbook all the time. So all of those little things, and looking back on it and looking at my report card comments from being a kiddo and looking at my school struggle and looking at, I never thought I was smart. I didn't think I could do school. I managed to get through it because I'm pretty resilient and I have, some sort of intelligence to help me get through things. So I navigated the system, but it was never easy. So once I got my diagnosis, soon after Avery did, it really allowed me the opportunity to reflect on my own experience. And that is what, allowed a massive degree of self-acceptance and self-understanding and self-compassion. And even now, as an adult, still working through living with ADHD, it sometimes is a daily struggle, reminding myself that, yes, I am as capable as my peers, even though it doesn't always feel that way. I never felt like I fit in. I always felt a bit like an outcast. I struggled a little bit socially too, as many of our ADHDers do. So I never found where I fit. And I never felt as smart as my same-aged peers. I never felt school was for me. I ended up, because I struggled socially, I ended up becoming a people pleaser, and I would sit back and observe how other people acted in an appropriate way. And I would take on the personality of other people because I didn't know how to act. And I didn't have the supports to figure out why I wasn't successful socially, never mind academically. Actually, from a very young age, probably from around the age of 13, I started to experience symptoms of depression, which snowballed as I got older and older and older. And it was actually because I was being treated for depression that my doctor, when I came to her with my ADHD adult assessment, that I thought, we should at least have a conversation about this, where I was able to make the connection between the development of my depression, in large part being due to undiagnosed ADHD, undiagnosed and unsupported ADHD, really. So I never felt like I fit. I felt lonely. I felt isolated. I felt sad. I dropped out of high school, right? Because I didn't think I could do school. So it makes me emotional talking about it. I was involved in a sports team where many of my co-athletes were super, super high functioning. Like, they managed to be on the honors roll, and they managed to be amazing athletes, and they managed to be successful socially, and they just seemed to have everything going right for them. And I felt that I had all these balls in the air that I kept dropping. And I just felt that I didn't deserve to be a part of that group of people, because they were clearly so much more skilled and intelligent and successful than I was. So I think I ended up alienating myself because of my own lack of confidence in my own abilities, which didn't help my depression, right? The more I learned, the more I recognized, okay, I struggle with procrastination because my brain struggles with the executive functions that underlie planning and getting things done in a timely manner. And because of the dopamine, I need that dopamine surge to work well under pressure. I've always thought that I just work best under pressure, when really it can be linked and associated to my ADHD. The social struggles, it started to make sense for me. And even the depression, because I thought I was doomed to a lifelong deep depression. But even just fully understanding that so much of my life experience was informed by my ADHD brain really shifted the way I viewed my mental health and my ability to make change for myself. I didn't have a lot of direction and a lot of support to understand how my ADHD impacted things as simple as having a play date with somebody, right? And or not being invited to a party and not understanding why. And I think because I didn't receive that degree of support on a social level, I started experiencing rejection sensitivity from a really, really young age. And it's still something I battle to this day. And I'd like to think that perhaps if I'd received more support at a younger age, that I would have been more socially resilient. Do I make the best decisions and do the right thing every single day? No, because, ADHD is consistently inconsistent. But I have certainly learned so many tools to use in my own life to help increase my own success. I've recognized when I need to be gentle with myself, because there's that internal dialogue that is incredibly critical for us ADHDers. So I've learned to be more gentle with myself. I've also surrounded myself with people who have a greater depth of compassion and understanding. I've really learned how to shape my social environment to a place where I can be more successful and feel loved and accepted within that group of people. I think it's gotten easier because in large part, I've learned what works for me and what doesn't work for me. I've learned how to navigate social situations much better. Though that being said, I still experience social anxiety, again, as an offshoot of that rejection sensitivity and the offshoot of untreated ADHD, unsupported ADHD. And a lot of people meet me and they're surprised that I have social anxiety, but I mask it very well. I've gotten really good at masking my areas of weakness. Kids with ADHD and adults with ADHD needed advocates, needed people to fight for them, to educate the world on what this condition is and how we can be successful, because we can. Education, I think, is our primary tool, our weapon in furthering the success of individuals with ADHD. So I would say that, yes, advocacy and education really, I think, is the major tool that we have. Way too often we are taking the problem behaviors associated with ADHD and attributing them to personality flaws, when really what we need to do is stop assigning personality flaws to true, authentic struggles. One of my favorite sayings is that problem behaviors are symptoms of unmet needs. And if we've got kids who are misbehaving in the classroom or misbehaving at home, it really is their only way of communicating to the adults in their environment that they have an unmet need. And I think we just need to slow down and we need to listen to what they're telling us. It's all information. Are they telling it to us in the way that makes us comfortable? Probably not. But that's all the more reason for us to slow down and listen and pay attention and to shift what we're doing, because man, a kiddo who has the opportunity to be heard and to be understood and to be set up for success, their life trajectory is immensely different than that of a child who has the opposite. These kids are so much more than just their diagnoses. And to consider the impact that one caring adult or one understanding adult, or let's even say 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 understanding adults can have on the trajectory of a child and then adolescent and then adult of an individual with ADHD. Because I think if we just give the opportunity, they can amaze us.